What's happening? Good people. Still a nation. Boy, y'all funny. Y'all is funny. I'm already looking at comments. This is going to be an interesting show. We're going to have some, I'm going to have some fun. I don't know about y'all. I'm going to have fun on this show because I look at some of these comments and let's get into it. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the week 11 edition of the Steelers Afterplay. Steelers faced off against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, and the Steelers were unable to come away with the victory, facing Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You know, Deshaun Watson is out for the year, but the Steelers just couldn't get it done. They lost the game 13-10 in a close one, and this is the Steelers' identity. They try to keep it close. And it's a lot of people that I don't really have a lot of beef with in terms of this team in today's loss. But there's some people that it's sad. It's very sad. But like I said, these comments, holy moly, some of you guys, and wow. Let's get to it. Let's say hello to the early commenters and then we'll dive right in. Y'all know how I do. James Tresvant. Hello, Lanisha. Hello, Susie. Gotta say hello to our lovely ladies in the chat. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for tuning in each and every week. We appreciate you. Fellas, make sure you roll out the red carpet for the ladies. BQ 412, CT Pittman, 007, Sonny Rothmiller, Reggie Reg, Jordan Mid, Builder's Life, 412, Born and Raised, Marvin Nicholson, and Marvin. Excuse me, Marlon, I got some comments coming your way, man. I just got to give my opinion, and I'll get there in a moment. David Jones Jr., Irvin Garcia, Todd Roebuck. Who else? Hello, Sade. What's up, Miss Lady? Appreciate you coming through. She says, trash. Yeah, it's bad. Did I say Builder's Life? I think I did. Tiggs a lot. The Music, Master of Music, C. Antoine Hill, Leonard Dard, Milk. Who else? Rodney Ware, Jimbo, Steelberg, my man Smitty in the building. Who else? Derek Moore, father-in-law Leonard Langley. Oh man, he's joining in on the commentary about the rookie. Outplaying Kenny, and actually hold on, because I'm gonna go to that as well. I definitely want to comment on that, but I have to check something. Give me a second, guys. I know this is live, but give me a second. I want to check something because, like I said, man, we are a very emotional bunch, and I say we because I'm a part of Still a Nation, even though I don't share some of the same thoughts as some of you all do. But I'm always going to say we because it's all inclusive. But I tell you, man, some of our thoughts and opinions is just, you know, it's a little outlandish. It's a little outlandish to me. I pulled up something, and I'll get to it in a minute. Let me read a few more comments. Nate Drews, Claude Bishop, TJ Pope, Thomas Agent. And yeah. We'll stop right there. Let me see if my good buddy Debbie is in here because I always miss her and I never get to shout Debbie out. There's Destiny. Hello, Destiny. Appreciate Destiny tuning in, the lovely lady of the chat. We have another one, Erica, lovely lady of the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Who else? Is Debbie here? I don't think so. And if she is, she just hasn't posted yet. But I always try to make sure I say what's up to the ladies first and foremost. All right. Let's go ahead and get to it. So, actually, I do see a donation here coming up for C. Antoine Hill. I might as well just say it. There it is. It popped up. Round of applause to my man C. Antoine Hill. Appreciate the donation. He says, Antoine Hill says, what's up, Sim? Did you receive my email about Kenneth earlier? I'm already looking at JG McCarthy and DJU. I did not see the email, but let me talk about that really quick, man. Let me see how many of y'all are in here. I might as well dive into that because it seems like that's really where y'all want to get early. I might as well dive into that. Well, actually, before I do that, let me do my normal routine. Let me break down the first drive offensively and defensively, and then I'll just skip a lot of the stuff that I notated. I'm going to dive right into the chit. I said chit because I see somebody wrote here, and I was saying chat and it at the same time. Hence the word chit came out, not the curse. But I'm going to dive right into what you guys are talking about in the chat, and because I got some things to say. So let's get into it. First and foremost, the Steelers defer. They kick off. So what happens? First defensive series, the Steelers defer, and they start with their defensive series, and they had a timeout early. I didn't like that. I'm going to get on the coaching staff about that. They had a timeout early with 12 men on the field. Like, come on, that far into the game. I don't understand that. But the Steelers were able to face a 3rd and 3 where the Browns were able to pick it up with a run by DTR. If any of you guys saw my before play video last night, I did talk about him being mobile, and we got to keep an eye on that. Didn't kill us, but he picks up the first down, as well as Joey Porter Jr. is offsides on that play. Steelers then force a 3rd and 10, and the Steelers were able to get off the field. Keanu Benton coming up big on a screenplay. Nice tackle on the screenplay. Outstanding. What do the Steelers do when they get the ball? Okay, first offensive drive. The Steelers, hold on. We have a donation, so I have to interrupt myself. Round of applause to Sport 8. Appreciate the donation. Sport 8 says QB, OC, O-line, punter are all the blame. We had about 3 solid chances to win this game. Unbelievable hot garbage was on display today. Yeah, there were a lot of people, pretty much what you outlined there were really the reasons why the Steelers lost the game. I know everyone is putting it fully blaming Kenny, but I'm going to get to it. And again, I can't wait to watch the actual film, because when I watch the film play by play from the overhead view, the all-22 view, I can really see what's happening. And I'm going to rewatch the game. I'm going to do it earlier this week. I might rewatch that thing later tonight, just so I already have it in my mind. And by the time the all-22 comes out, I know what to look for. But anyway, what I was saying was offensive drive. Steelers, they start the ball on their own 9-yard line. And Myles Garrett beats Dan Moore, and it should have been a safety. So let's go ahead and say that. It shouldn't have even come down to this 3-point game. The Browns should have been able to win this game 12-10, because that was a safety. I don't know how they didn't call that a safety, but again, that ball didn't seem like he was all the way out of the end zone. He turned inside. That should have been safety. But anyway, then that very next play, they give it to Najee. Najee gets stopped for almost a safety in the 3rd down play. It was 6-yard pickup to Allen Robinson, but the Steelers, of course, at that point go 3 and out, which we are accustomed to. Unfortunately, they go 3 and out, and there it is, guys. And like I said, there's so much to talk about this game. I'm not even going to dive into it. I'm not even going to dive into all of the things that I have notated here, because I know what y'all want to talk about. We're going to get right into that. So let me talk about a few of my takeaways really quick, and then we're going to get into the obvious thing. Timeout management, I thought, in this game was horrible. I'm going to blame everybody in that regard. Coach T, Terrell Austin, whoever else. There were too many times where I felt like we had to call a timeout. There was twice that there was 12 guys on the field. Now, again, me personally, this is my personal opinion. Yes, I'm going to give Coach Tomlin some of that blame, but me personally, I don't feel like it's the head coach solely who's in charge of substitutions and all of that. That should fall solely on the players and or defensive coach getting these guys in and out. That's just my opinion. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, because I don't buy into everybody's narrative. I just speak my opinion. I'll comment on your opinion if you're asking me your question or whatever, or I will comment on opinions that I think is a little outlandish, but I'm not telling you not to think that way. So again, yes, I'm going to give Coach Tomlin some of that blame, but 12 men on the field, that's on players, and that's also on whoever is sending personnel into the game. I would assume it's the position coach. I don't know. Could be Tomlin. I don't know. That's why I say I will include them all, but I find it hard to believe to blame every single thing like that on any head coach. Just my opinion. Round of applause, man. I got donations here from Dez, my man Dez, and also Last King of Scotland. So let's round of applause that. Also, round of applause to CT Pittman. CT Pittman says, is it all on Kenny? No. The route concepts on possession downs were terrible. Yes. We're going to get to it. Dez says, watching this Steelers team is gross. A time fine. Not sure what that means, but you're correct. It is gross. It makes me sick. My stomach hurts right now. Last King of Scotland says, how can people look at the game and think QB? DTR had so many wide receivers schemed open. DTR was not scanning the field. Canada route tree is horrific. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. And I'm going to get to it. Hold that thought. I'm going to get to it. Last King of Scotland with another donation. He says, how many 2nd and 10 runs? We're going to get there. So let me get my other stuff out the way so I could get right into that. Again, timeout management was horrible, man. Like I said, I blame whoever's in charge of that, all of the coaches. It was so much lack of communication out there. You could physically see it. Now, part of that is because of guys like Cole Holcomb not being out there. Quan Alexander not being out there, guys who've worn the green dot. Also, guys like Minkah Fitzpatrick not being out there. It clearly guys like Tristan Thompson and Michael Walker, these guys played a lot. New to the Steelers in terms of playing action. It just was bad. It was bad. I notated that as well. Those two guys had to start the game. We obviously know why. Let's see. Steelers offense is just not consistent. Okay, I don't even need to get into all of this because all of this I'm going to talk about is going to fall into my main meat and takeaway from this game. So let's get into it. First of all, I got an office visit. 2 office visits. Let's get those out the way. One of them is a positive, one is a negative. First up, Joey Porter Jr. Please come into this office. Okay, son, let me explain it to you like this. There was a time where I was calling you Peasy Jr. I'm taking that away. You haven't quite earned that yet. That's reserved for Papa Porter. Your dad is Peasy. I can't call you Peasy Jr. yet, not because of your play, because you had a good play out there today. You had a good play, helped save a touchdown. It's because of the penalties. Son, what's going on, bro? What's going on? This is every week. You're on, you're on the stat sheet for penalties. Come on, man. If it ain't offsides, it's PI. If it ain't PI, it's holding. Come on, PC. I know you young and all of that. I know you a rookie, but you've been playing football for a long time, right? You're not a rookie to playing football. You're not a rookie to knowing the rules. You're grabby. Come on, brother. We need you to clean that up. You're a rookie. I'm giving you your space because you've played good ball. However, that got to go. Them penalties have got to go. And speaking of penalties, while you're in the office, I want you to go out there and mention this to the rest of your teammates. You had an offsides early. You also had a holding or something in the game. In a second, Patrick Peterson, what's up with the face mask? Go talk to your mentor. Delay of game by Kenny Pickett. Ineligible man downfield by Daniels, which it ain't really Daniels' fault, but on that same play, offensive PI by Deontay Johnson. I guess maybe it ain't his fault because the play developed slow, but still. Alex Highsmith called for roughing, which was a horrible play. Horrible. But all right, I'm done with you, Peasy. I'm done with you. Let me address the Highsmith point really quick before I bring the next guy into the office. Man, I'm telling you guys, I'm so sick. I am so sick of roughing in the NFL. I understand, it's up near the head and neck area, but dog, you cannot always determine where your helmet is going to go. Am I wrong? How do you guys feel about that call? And please be objective. Don't speak from a Steeler fanboy perspective. I want to hear you guys' opinion. How do you feel about that call? To me, it's disgusting because when you go in to tackle someone, you cannot always determine where the head is going to go. And he tried to pull up. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Let me interrupt myself for a moment, man. CT Pittman with another donation. Appreciate you. He says, one more thing. When they line up Broderick Jones and Darnell Washington on the same side, teams have figured out it's a run. I'm about to get there, bro. Don't worry. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, it's the rule, man. It's the rule that's a problem because it ain't just the Steelers. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm sure as I watch football the rest of the day, we might see another one. It is bad. What else could Alex Highsmith have done in that situation? And that was a key moment. But all right, some good news. Jaylen Warren. Boy, come on in this office, man. No, it's a good meeting. You ain't got to be hesitant. Come on in here. With your helmet on. I see you. Come on. Mr. Jaylen Warren. I'm going to put some respect on your name because you probably know by now how I felt, way back when you were in training camp and I didn't know much about you and I kind of dismissed it. My bad. I'm putting huge respect on your name. And the fact that you got this helmet on, that's something I didn't know about you. That is interesting, brother. You will never take that helmet off. You are engaged at all times. That speaks to that mindset, man. Dude, let me just give you your flowers right now while you can smell them. You are the man. You, to me, have been the MVP of this offense, this lackluster offense that you are a part of, unfortunately. You have produced. Your running mate, Najee, has produced too, but you've outproduced him in your spots. And you're doing it consecutively. Now you're really becoming a threat. What a game you had today. Not to mention, I got you on my fantasy team. So appreciate that, Jaylen Warren, because I have this dilemma. I kind of have you and Najee. That's the reason why I don't play fantasy, because sometimes I'm so pro Steelers. But that's how the cookie fell in the draft. And I always struggle when I should play you or Najee or both, because I also have Gus Edwards, which I know he's a divisional opponent, but Gus Edwards has scored in the last 6 games. Can't take him out the lineup. So a lot of time I have you, Jaylen, as my flex. Last week I didn't. I put Jahan Dotson in the game thinking he gonna do something. He did nothing. If I had you in the game, I would have won last week. But anyway, Jaylen, bravo. Keep balling. Keep doing what you're doing. We as Steeler Nation appreciate you. And we love what you're doing for this team. And we love your demeanor and approach to this game. Outstanding. All right, guys, let's get to it. Shout outs to Broderick Jones, man, on that run by Jaylen Warren, the 74-yarder. I mean, when Broderick has pulled so far in his time as a starter, a lot of times big things are happening for us. Really loving that. It's looked very, very good. And the thing about Jaylen Warren, man, again, I'm not gonna side with some of y'all. I already know some of y'all. Oh man, that's why they need to sit down, Najee. No, we need both of them. We need them both, and Najee's playing well as well. Najee is just a different style back than Warren. Warren is a put my foot in the ground and go type of guy. Low center of gravity. He's a shorter guy, stocky, strong. Like his style is just different. And that's why you're able to see him still stiff arm dudes, because just because he's kind of smaller in stature, he ain't no small dude. But his run style is different. He hits it quick. That's just how it goes. Some backs they're just different. So again, I'm not a highlight watcher when it comes to players. I look at what they bring to the table, their attributes. I like what Najee has done for us. Has Jaylen Warren started to outproduce him? Yeah, he has. But that's not to say that I don't want Najee. I want that 1-2 punch. And some of Najee's problem is the play call and the runs that Canada designs for him, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. Round of applause to Luis D, man. Appreciate the donation. He says the league needs to revisit this roughing the passer because this is getting so bad around the league that it might come down to winning and losing the game. Yeah, it's really bad. And man, sizable donation right there, Luis. I appreciate you for that, man. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this offense and Kenny Pickett. Here's the one thing I don't understand about before I get to that, let me talk about you guys, Steeler Nation, really quick. Man, watching you guys' comments is some of the most entertaining thing, one of the most entertaining things to do, because y'all be going so far left. I swear your comments are game to game, meaning your thoughts change drastically game to game. And it's just funny to watch. It's just funny to watch. I'm going to pick on my man, Marlon Nicholson, real quick. Marlon, boy, you be going crazy sometimes. And you my man. But I even saw you, and I don't know how you phrased it, but just according to your other comments, I think you phrased it in the way that I'm assuming. If I'm wrong, please stand me corrected. But I seen you say, Myles Garrett outplayed TJ Watt. So? TJ still ended up with a sack. I credit the offensive game plan. We ain't really get no pressure today if y'all pay attention to that. They was able to definitely minimize the pressure, whether it was DTR getting the ball out quick or just play design, getting them on the move. The pressure wasn't consistent. It wasn't constant pressure. Gotta applaud the Cleveland Browns O-line for doing that. But TJ still found a way when we needed it the most to get a sack. But okay, are we expecting TJ Watt to just have a better game than Myles Garrett all the time? Myles Garrett is having a phenomenal season. So I don't get when you guys do that. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I could be wrong in the way you meant it. But like I said, judging by some of your other comments, it's like, come on, y'all just be reaching for anything. I seen a lot of you guys also say this. Y'all let a rookie quarterback come in there and outplay Kenny Pickett. This is not an endorsement for Kenny Pickett, but let me just read to y'all really quick. Why y'all saying that, which statistically he did outplay Kenny Pickett. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson was 24 for 43, 165 yards and 1 interception. So statistically, he outplayed Kenny, but what did he do? Can somebody please answer that? What did he do? Did he kill us today? Now, granted, it was aided by some drops by Njoku, but I'm just saying, what are y'all talking about? Yeah, they won the game, but again, Steeler fans, y'all are too emotional. They just lost. The offense sucked today. Kenny didn't play great. and Matt Canada didn't help him. That's it. But okay, like the comparison of DTR to y'all crazy. I can see if he came out there and lit it up. He didn't do nothing. The father-in-law says he managed the game, but Leonard, he didn't do nothing. It was beyond mediocre, and I'm not taking a shot at him. This dude is playing in a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a division rival. Didn't know he was going to start till late. Please don't mistake me for getting at him. This is not a shot at DTR. This is more of a shot at us fans. That y'all just be going crazy. Round of applause for a few donations, man. Cody Harris and Luis D. Oh, my bad. That was Luis's first comment, but still. Thank you for the donation. But Cody Harris says, fan of NFL over 30 years. These roughing calls league-wide make me not want to watch the NFL. Landing on top on clean sacks and head area calls, no good. Yeah, I'm with you, Cody. It's bad, man. I just don't know what you expect the defender to do in some of these cases. That's all it is. That's all it is. But all right, like I said, man, let me give you my analysis of what I saw. Let me preface this by saying in-game action. Because, again, some of y'all might not understand this. In-game action, seeing it in real time, that's why this is known widely as my knee-jerk reaction show. I can't see everything. I can assume what I saw, but things consistently change when you see the all-22. You don't believe me? Well, go listen to other people that you respect. People I respect, like Steelers Depot. Go listen to them. Don't their opinion, they can further and analyze once they've seen the all-22? It's so many things that you cannot really see on game tape. You can't always see route combination. You can't always see where the dump off was at. You can't always see happy feet and was it a clean pocket. You can see some of it, but this is just how I do it. I'm not telling y'all not to do it. This is just me, because some of y'all continue to send me messages. Man, why you don't never say? I can't say that after watching the game live. There's some things that was obvious. I saw some bad throws by Kenny Pickett today. A couple high throws. I also saw some locked-in throws. Let's talk about. Remember that swing pass to Jaylen Warren? Kenny. And I'm going to say Kenny and Canada. Let me explain to y'all why I'm going to say that. First of all, Kenneth, would you stop just going to where the play is designed? It was almost like the Browns knew it. As soon as Warren went in motion, dog, I've never seen three defenders attack like a screen swing type pass that fast. But it's almost like, this is where I'm going to say Kenny and Canada, because I keep telling y'all, this is my opinion. I don't know who's really at fault. I blame Kenny for his bad play, but I'm starting to think, man, that Canada is asking him to do some of this stuff. I really am. Somebody posted Kenny Pickett's 2021. They did a montage of his 2021 season at Pitt. And just looking at where he was throwing the ball and what spots of the field, I'm like, he's not doing any of that with us. I'm going to get to it in a moment. So, yes, Kenny Pickett locks on his primary target way too much. But then some of these plays, it makes me think that's what they're telling him to do. Because you got to read that. You look over there, you glance and see where the defense is flowing, come off of that. He doesn't. A lot of times, he locks right in. A lot of times when they roll him out, he locks right in. And I'm telling y'all, man, listen, the only reason why I feel like it might not be Kenny all the time is because this is stuff that he wasn't doing that I saw in college. I've actually seen him scan the field better in the pros. Last season, preseason, I don't understand what's happening to you, Kenneth. You're going backwards. But I wish I knew the answer. I'm not going to speak definitively like some of you guys do because you don't know either. We can go off the eye test, but trust me when I say this. when you watch the all 22, there's times that he's not even coming back over to the other side of the field. It's almost like they're saying your read 1 and 2 is here. Just go here. If this is open, throw it. If that's open, throw it, but don't go nowhere else. I'm telling y'all, trust me when I say it. If you don't believe me, go watch some of them all 22s yourself. I really think it's a combination of bad Kenny Pickett play and bad play calling by Matt Canada. The route combinations. All we do is throw the ball outside of the numbers. And these teams know it. So some of them bad throws that Kenny made today probably had to, because Cleveland was able to sit on them routes. Even that last one to Deontay Johnson on the 3rd and 10. Little high. Maybe you could fit it in there, but the defense was right there. So the throw had to be at the sideline. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is outside the numbers. Why? The only thing you threw in the middle of the field was that little quick tunnel screen to Pat Fryermuth, and we picked 6 or 7 yards off of that. And honestly, guys, what I'm telling y'all from my assessment is the play calling is making Kenny Pickett look worse. I don't think Kenny Pickett is the guy. I can't say he's the guy because I haven't seen him play like the guy. But what I can say is, man, the play design is not helping. Everything's outside the numbers. And if we throw it down the middle of the field, it's a deep post that we try to hit Calvin Austin on a couple times this year. I don't think we saw that today, but there's nothing. There's nothing where guys just in the middle of the field and they sit in the middle of the zone, or, every now and then we'll run like a little levels concept or something like that. But it's so infrequent where the defenses pretty much know where you're going. It's predetermined, man. And then on top of that, the offensive line today didn't give you enough time to really scan the field. Dan Moore was bad today. He was bad today. Even on the plays where we didn't resort into a sack, he was bad. I guess he was tired of hearing everybody say how well he's played against Myles Garrett. Well, I guess not him tired. Myles Garrett was tired of hearing that. And Matt Canada, 2nd and 10. Dog. What have I been saying for weeks? Y'all have heard me say it. When we line up in that heavy single back, like somewhat like more of a jumbo situation, and we got Darnell Washington blocking, particularly when he's on the same side as Broderick Jones, everybody know it's a run and they know where it's going. Why do you keep doing that? I understand, it's advantageous to maybe run, pick up a few yards, but not when the world knows where you're going with it. Thank you, Last King of Scotland, for calming me down. Appreciate the donation. Oh, yeah. That's right. I did forget that. He says, Kenny Pickett did hit Allen Robinson on that 3rd and 1 over the middle of the field. 3rd and 11, excuse me. That was good. And this is what I'm saying. We brought this dude in to work that area of the field. Why are we not throwing the ball intermediately in the middle of the field with Allen Robinson or Pat Fryermuth? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it, guys. Like I said, y'all just getting my real thoughts right now. Say what you want about Kenny. I've said enough about Kenny over the last few weeks. Y'all know I have. He's not playing well in spots. He's inaccurate in times. He is. Where he's gotten a little bit better is navigating the pocket. Because now at least he will scramble. Now at least he doesn't bail so soon all the time. He has been inaccurate at some times. He has made some decent throws at times. But the biggest problem that I see, and until I could get a definitive answer, And listen, if you listen to Kenny Pickett's conference last week, it lends more to me thinking it's Canada structuring where he wants Kenny to go with the ball. I don't know that to be true, but until I know the answer, I'm blaming both of them. Because what I can see with my eyes is Kenny Pickett has been inaccurate. And also I can see with my own eyes that the route concepts and situational play calling by Matt Canada has been beyond trash, beyond predictable. That's the problem. The two of them. So while everybody is blaming everything on Kenny, no. Blaming everything on Canada, no. It's the two of them. I don't know who takes more of the brunt, but it's bad. It's bad. It's bad, man. This offense is like, it's so predictable. Like we sitting in our own living room calling the plays. And like I said, if you don't believe what I'm saying, even if you don't know football, listen to what I'm saying and ask yourself if it makes sense. You notice how often we throw outside the numbers? For those of you that don't know that terminology, because I'm going to respect that. Some people don't know that. It's outside of those big old numbers, 30, 40, 50. Outside of that, that's what people talk about when they say outside the numbers or throwing it outside to the outside receiver. You know, the go routes, out routes that go to the sideline. Maybe even a post corner in some situations. Corner routes. Outside the numbers. Very few times you see the Steelers attack the seams or anything inside the hash. That's play design. Because at one time I thought maybe Kenny missing some stuff. No. Play design. Sometimes we run drags and things like that. But why don't we run we don't even run slants. Very few times do we actually run slants. It's horrible, man. Round of applause to who's this? Steeler T, as well as Last King of Scotland. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all donating heavy today. It's bad, bro. He says, this vanilla offense is predictable. So with all the 3 and outs, our defense was on the field too long, and it cost us late in the game. Guys were gassed. Yes. Cooper ran like 5 slants. Steelers wide receivers 1 to GP. Yes. This is what I'm saying. We don't even take advantage of the easy stuff. You got Deontay Johnson out there. And I saw somebody in the comments early. Who said that early? I told y'all Deontay Johnson sucks. Now this dude sucks. See, you guys' opinions of players is completely result bias. It's not good. It should be a body of work. You want me to say something that we all could probably agree to? Even though I do think there's room for Kenny to grow, right? Even though I still think that, I think we all can see with our own eyes that Kenny Pickett has not been a good quarterback right now. Over the body of work that we've seen, that you can see. That opinion has not changed from any of us. And if Kenny goes out next week and throws for 400 yards, I would still say, over his body of work with the Steelers, he's not a great quarterback. Because I would have to see him play well much more in order for me to say, okay, he's finally got there. I promise y'all that. So remember I said that. If Kenny turns it around, watch how long it's going to take for me to acknowledge that he's playing good or he's a good quarterback. Right now, I can't say that. But see, I can say that objectively, even still saying, hey, man, I think he can play better, you know. And like I told y'all, the Steelers are not moving on. He will be your quarterback in 2024. So I'm going to continue to watch and analyze. And by year 3, if we still talking like this about him, then there's a conversation about a QB. And I'm saying that as thinking from a Steeler organization mind, not my mind, not your mind. I'm thinking from what realistically is going to happen and what we're realistically going to have to deal with as fans. That's how I speak. I speak from that perspective. But even with me thinking, look, man, I've seen Kenny Pickett play better. I don't know what his ceiling is. I told y'all last week, I don't even know the floor. But I have seen him play better football. So that's why I say, man, this dude can play better. But I really feel like this daggone scheme, man, this scheme is not helping him at all. Where are the easy throws? Think about that. Where are the easy throws? Like all of you guys a lot of times say in the comments, man, look at how they scheme wide receivers open for such and such. Look at how they did that with DTR. Man, look at how they do that with Purdy and yada, yada, yada. We're never saying that. Am I right? I'm going to ask that question. And I want y'all to answer that. As a Steeler fan base, how often are we saying we've schemed wide receivers wide open and made easy throws for the quarterback? Answer that question for me. What's up, Debbie? My girl Debbie in the building. Answer that question. When have we said that? Even in Kenny Pickett's tenure. When have we said that? From the looks of it, quarterbacks like Kenny Pickett need that. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not a guy that can just make it happen. He needs to be in situations like Brock Purdy. Oh, all of these other teams that y'all say, y'all know who y'all talk about. Y'all say it every week. Man, look at how they scheme the receivers open for the. When do y'all say that about us? DCLS Fright says, true, the scheme is not there. LeConte says, when they are wide open, he doesn't see them. Yeah, but again, remember, I personally think, LeConte, I don't know for sure, I personally think Kenny is being asked to just look at one or two reads because it's crazy how there's no way he's not seeing these guys. He did this better in college. And I understand the NFL and the college is different, but not mentality. You still should kind of have the stuff Ben Roethlisberger was doing in college. He brought it to the NFL. Patrick Mahomes as well. Like your psyche and the way you scan and play shouldn't change much. The competition is stiffer, obviously, but your mentality and approach should not change much. What else y'all saying? Builder's Life says yes. D says Kenny is the worst starting quarterback in the league and it's not close. Okay, that's your opinion. I'll let you have it. Reggie Red says haven't seen it this year. Jordan Mid says it's not working. Oh, the Master of Music says people need to look at Sullivan too and not just Canada. Good point. Good point. Somebody says, Shyla. Hey, Shyla. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate the lovely ladies of the chat, man. Shyla says, we need better offensive leadership. Praying we make changes this offseason. Yeah, it's all I'm saying is this, folks. And then I'm going to come to the chat because I definitely want to engage with you guys more. I hate that I have to keep repeating it, but it looks like there's a lot of people watching today. So some of you guys might be new to me. So I always have to say certain things like you never heard me say it before. I am not endorsing Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has not been good this season, and in my opinion, it looks like he's regressed a bit. Do I think Kenny Pickett can be a good quarterback? Good, not great. Good. I think so because of the talent that I've seen him possess in college, scratch college, in preseason with the Steelers, first year, taking over from Mitch Trubisky, second half of the season. Starting preseason this year, I was like, okay. And then we're here now, and I'm like, huh? What happened? But because I've seen him play better, I absolutely think he can play better than what we've seen with accuracy and decision-making. However, it is not happening. And I believe that it is a combination of him not being consistent with his accuracy and the play designed by Matt Canada. And that's just where I'm at. And nothing is going to change. All of y'all saying bench him. For who? For who? For who? Mitch Trubisky? Oh, no. Mason Rudolph. Let me explain something to y'all, man. The Steelers absolutely are going to allow him to go through what he's going through, because guess what they're doing? They're evaluating. They're getting all of this data to decide if in the next year or two they got to go for another QB. So he's going to play. And I'm just not spending all of my time every week continuing to say the same stuff as far as like, man, they need to, because they're not going to. We can give our opinions about how bad he's playing or how well he did, but that is it. All of that expecting that he's not going to play the rest of the season. I mean, unless we we got 6 wins. I mean, unless we don't win no more games. But again, there is no reason to do that because the guys behind him right now are not the future. So, of course, you're going to let him continue to play. There you go. So that's why I approach it the way I do, man. I take reality into account. I give my opinion, if you guys heard me go off and rant about Kenny and Matt Canada, but I also take reality and I put that into account. You know, you have to take reality into account. And the reality of it is what I've been telling you guys for weeks. This team is not a good team. They're going to do enough to make you feel like they can win. But even if they would have won today, think about this. If they would have won today, they most likely would have won 13-10. And it is unacceptable for them to get the ball back with a minute and something left on the clock and you do nothing. You go 3 and out. And here's where I will get on Matt Canada again. We had ran the ball well. Why not start that drive running the ball? Because you're going to pass the ball anyway, right? A minute and 42, decent field position. You're going to pass on second down anyway because of the time. But why start off like that? And I get it. Can some people say that's result bias? Maybe. But dog, this is the time where I would have definitely ran on first down, if for not any other reason, to work the clock a little bit. Because if we don't convert, let's limit the amount of time that they're going to get the ball back. But we throw 3 consecutive passes. And where were they? Outside the numbers. Dog. Round of applause to Last King of Scotland as well as CT Pittman. More donations. Dog, that was a 14-second drive. I want everybody to realize that. 14 seconds. With the ball at a minute and 42 seconds. At this point, I'm like, yo, I'm still going to come on the post-game show and I'm going to go off the same way I am right now. But at least they somehow snuck out a win. They got a minute and 42 seconds left. They should be able to get in field goal range. That's what I'm thinking. But no. Last King of Scotland says, Sim keeps the receipts of Steelers fans. Their opinion change often. Stefanski just showed us what an NFL coordinator can do with time to prepare. Yeah, and I appreciate that, but it's not just receipts. I'm not trying to do that for any reason or any narrative, because I'm sure y'all can find some stuff about me. I just try to speak the reality of what I'm seeing. That's all. CT Pittman says, I'm wondering why, if Kenny thinks Canada calls a bad play, if he doesn't check into a better one. Lots of questions need answers at this point. Yeah, man. And, expecting him to do that is, again, bucking the system. You would love him to do it, but we don't really know what autonomy he has. We just don't. We saw him check to a play against the Ravens when, George Pickens was able to beat Marlon Humphrey. But again, it's just, is it he has 1 or 2 plays in his pocket to call in certain situations, or I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Knight Rider says, keep this receipt. Kenny Pickett is garbage. Write it down. Take a picture. You know the rest. Yeah. And see, Kenny is at a point now where he has to prove to everyone that he can be a good quarterback. And like I said, he's in a tough spot because his coordinator is not helping him. But again, even being in a tough spot, you got to make the best of your opportunities. And there's times where Kenny Pickett has been wildly inaccurate, and that just can't happen. All right, guys, let's do it. Throw some more stuff at me, man. Let's read some comments, see what y'all got. Aaron Fuller says, if his natural decision-making and field vision were some of his best attributes coming out of college, why would they be taking that away from him by giving him predetermined reads? It's a good question. It's a good question. And like I said, man, Aaron, it's something that we can't answer. And that's always my perspective. You know, for anybody who's new to this channel, I try not to speak from speculation because that's dangerous. We don't know. But that is a good point. We've seen this dude do this. And you know what I'm saying? Like, those were his strongest attributes. And we've seen him play better in the Steelers uniform. I don't know, man. I don't. What else y'all got? Steeler T says, hey, Sim, check the stats. Do we lead the league in 3 and outs? Predictable offense. It's frustrating looking at this offense every week. We probably do. Destiny says protection also. They don't adjust well. Yeah, man. Oh man. Hey Diane, another one of our lovely ladies, man. Appreciate you coming through. She says, this is so frustrating. We are terrible. Yeah, but I told y'all early, man. I told y'all early that this team is one of those, is fool's gold. One of my shows was actually titled that. They're fool's gold. Yeah, they got a winning record, but they're not a good team. Dog, I understand and acknowledge that the Browns, let's say this. They faced the #1 defense today. Sure they did. Okay? Completely understand that. They faced the #1 defense, right? However, that same #1 defense shut down the Niners. Okay? I get all of that. However, with the talent that we have at the skill position, with the offensive display put on by Jaylen Warren today, if we could have just mustered that much more on offense, we win the game. The times that we went 3 and out, let me read y'all something real quick. This was one of my notations here. Actually, I'm going to read it from this point. Steelers convert. Where is it? I said Alex Highsmith moves the chains for the Browns late in the third. Horrible call with the roughing. Steelers able to get off the field, get a pick off of a pick tip drill, and that was Joy Porter Jr. that actually helped that. Good defense, popped the ball up. Number 34 comes away with the pick. Okay, I wrote all of that, and I said Steelers go 3 and out right after that. Then a 20-yard punt by Presley Harvard. Then the Steelers come right back. Their defense forced a 3 and out right after. Jaylen Warren explodes in the fourth quarter. That's when he had that explosive drive. Steelers only able to come away with the field goal, and it's 10-10 at that point. TJ Watt gets a monster sack on the next drive, forces the Browns into 2nd and 22. Browns eventually go 3 and out. And after a bad punt by the Browns punter, which he punted great in the game, except for that punt, not so good punt, Steelers start the drive from their own 48-yard line. Steelers do nothing with the possession, and they punt it back to the Browns. And right after that, Steelers get off the field after a drop by Njoku. Steelers get the ball with 1 minute and 42 seconds left. Drive starts on their own 30. Steelers go 3 and out, 3 straight incompletions, 14-second drive. Do y'all hear just that sequence of all of that I just read? That is beyond bad. Any of those moments, if they're able to sustain a drive, they win. More than likely. I fully agree with Brett Richard. Brett Richard says, let me find his comment. I just saw it and somehow it moved, but he said something. He said, I saw the piece of it, but he said, Matt Canada's play calling is making Kenny Pickett look worse. Yes, that's all I'm saying. That's just my eye test too. Not an endorsement for Kenny Pickett, but I'm telling y'all, the play calling is making that kid look worse. It's bad, man. It's bad. It is bad. What else y'all got? I'll spend a little more time. Jimmy Baker says we need to keep Najee. Okay. Wonder what the cost would be. Well, they're probably going to put the 5th year on him so they won't have to pay him right away. LeConte Vaughn says we can't pass when we see 8 to 9 man boxes. Yeah, we just pass outside the numbers. We don't do anything, man. It's bad, bruh. D-Max says Tomlin just needs to start making changes. Maybe he lights a fire. If Buddy Ball or best player? Is it Buddy Ball or best player? Well, let me ask you, D-Mac. What changes are you proposing that Tomlin makes right now? I'm just curious to know. Then I'll comment. Diane says we need better protection for the QB as well. Yeah, today, man, wasn't their best day protecting him, particularly on that left side, Dan Moore. But again, I'm one of those people too that will acknowledge they're playing the Browns defense. Browns are number 1 in the league, man, and he's playing against Myles Garrett. So, I can't just say I won't just blame the offensive line completely because they were facing the best defense in the league. But yeah, overall, they definitely got to protect them better. Yes, John Alexander, he says, what's up with Kenny and Johnson not being on the same page? That too, folks. Some of those throws, he was anticipating Deontay going here and Deontay went there. So take that into account as well. Again, not endorsing. I'm looking at the game for what it was. There was at least 3 occasions where they were not on the same page. That's a problem. It's a problem. Builder's Life says D-Mac is one of those Tomlin haters. Oh, okay. I mean, what? I don't know. That's why I asked for him to, explain it. I can't say that. If you're saying that, cool, but I can't say that because I didn't see it. But Jimbo said the Bills fired a much better OC than Canada. Yeah, but the Steelers aren't doing that. They're just gonna let him expire. Speaking of which, let me take a look in real time here. Let me see. What the Bills doing? Is the Bills doing anything? Got that boy Diggs in my fantasy. What else y'all got? Did D-Mac respond yet? Wink says 3 and out, 14 seconds. Crazy. We need a new QB. But again, Wink, was that specifically Kenny Pickett? See what I'm saying? The 3rd down throw and I don't really remember the 2nd down throw, to be honest. I got to rewatch the game. But the 3rd down throw was that was a tight throw. It was a little off, but look where the ball had to go. It's tight. 1st down throw was a tad bit off, but I think Deontay could have caught that. But I don't like the play calling. So again, let me preface it once again. I don't like the plays all the time that they're giving Kenny and what they're asking him to do. And I don't like, again, let me put this in proper context. This is speculation on my part. I don't like what perceives to be what they're asking Kenny to do in terms of reads. I wish I could confirm that, but that's what it seems like to me, man. CT Pittman, another donation. Round of applause. Okay, and Lagoon Tours, shout outs. What's up, man? He says Kenny throws were off that entire drive. Yeah, they were a bit off. I don't remember the second down throw right now, but it probably was off. CT Pittman says, also, I'd like to know how many times this season we haven't run a route concept that extends past the markers on possession downs. Tired of them catching passes short of the first down. Yeah, and see, if you guys notice and pay attention to what CT Pittman said, it's either a dump off or everybody is vertical. And I'm tired of that, man. It's the concepts. Scheme dudes open. Like, we don't even run a lot of mesh. We don't seem to run traffic. We don't do it. We don't run a lot of mesh, and we're not even calling the pivot and return routes in times that I think we should, right? Now, let me say this. You don't always know what defense you're going to get, but I feel like, me personally, with Deontay Johnson and his route running ability and the way he runs return routes, that should always be one of the audibles. If you get the right look, that should be... We should always have Deontay Johnson's return route in an audible, because that boy runs that thing impeccably. Like, y'all don't get me frustrated again, man. All right, a little more time, man. We're pushing past an hour now. Let me see. I'm gonna give y'all a few more. John says we can't win games like this. Yeah, we can't, man. But again, let me be honest with y'all. Y'all looking at a team that ain't gonna do nothing anyway. We just don't have the offense. Even if we somehow stumble into the playoffs, do y'all think they're not going to win this year? Let's just say that. I think everything that we're expecting right now is hope. But reality, I've seen enough. They're not going to win a meaningful game this year. I wouldn't call them winning a playoff game. And if they snuck around and won one, they ain't going past that. They definitely not winning a Super Bowl. That's just what it is this year. So what I'm looking right now is I want to see improvement from the team, and maybe surprise me. But if I'm speaking from today's standpoint, I don't expect them to go anywhere based off of what I'm seeing. But I would love for them to prove me wrong. Wow. Brandon Chaney says Deontay is trash. See, I just disagree with those comments, but I'll let you have it. Diane says this one hurts because it was winnable. Yeah, it was right there for the taking. It was right there for the taking. It was right there. And you know what? I think next week gonna be the same thing. I actually think after watching today's game, we might actually have a better game against the Bengals, because I think Cleveland's defense is better. I think if we were able to run today, and again, it's week to week. I'm not gonna sit here and say we should. But I'm saying it's possible we might be able to run the football again in Cincinnati. So if we have that same plan and we can get the run game going, I feel like the Steelers have a better chance beating the Bengals without Joe Burrow than they did today facing the Cleveland defense. Because that almost scared me from playing Jaylen Warren in my fantasy, and not because I was like, that defense. And Jaylen Warren broke out. So if you guys understand what I'm saying, I think our chances are better after watching that poor display today, defensively as well. Defense played well. Defense kept us in the game. They gave up 13. I think we have a better chance to win against the Bengals than I would have given us a chance today in Cleveland, based off of how our run game went today and based off of how the defense was able to keep a lid on it. But who knows? They'll mess around, go to Cincinnati, and get destroyed. D-Max says, Sim, that's my prediction. Maybe one playoff game, win max, but we have no shot to win until we have a decent QB. Hope KP turns it around, but years in, if things don't change, we got to go get draft. Nah, they're not going to do it. I'm with you, D-Mac. Listen, and let me just put that on record, too. I'm with whatever the Steelers decide to do to make the team better. That means they have to get another quarterback. Fine. You're not going to see me cry and pout about it. I just would not assume that's going to happen. I would not assume that the Steelers are going to draft a quarterback in 2024 draft. If they do, I'm not going to assume that guy starts either. He's not going to start to begin the season. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be logical, but who knows? Maybe they pull some type of fast one. Maybe Omar Khan and the Rooney family will throw another curveball. And I wouldn't be opposed to that. Even though I still say, hey, maybe Kenny can be better. I would not shed any tears if the Steelers decide they're going a different direction next year and they draft a QB. I would not. I'd be like, all right, bet. Let's see what this guy got. But given my prediction, if I'm thinking that they're going to let Matt Canada expire his contract, I think they're going to give Kenny another shot with a new coordinator. I really do. Just think about it from that standpoint, folks. Take your heart out of it. Think about how your Steelers have operated. Matt Canada more than likely will not have his contract renewed. If that is the case, I thoroughly believe they're going to give Kenny Pickett a third-year shot, which they usually do with all of the players anyway. Y'all know this, right? Steeler Nation, year 3 is the year. They will give Kenny Pickett a shot with a new coordinator. That is what's going to happen. What I hope happens is that they go outside of the organization and don't, Tomlin, this is something else that you do. Don't promote from within. Bring some new, fresh blood in. And see what Kenny Pickett gives you in 2024 with the new offensive coordinator. That is the most likely scenario, folks. Speaking from someone who has studied how the Steeler organization works. All right, man. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Kenya. Oh, I got a donation. Hold on. Kenya says all this KP talk is a waste of time until he gets a new coordinator. And Tomlin wants to win this way right now. So until we see what happens with our new OC, I can't comment on Kenny. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can have your opinions about how he's playing, but I mean, having these deep thoughts on him, that is a fact. Because in the same breath, you guys will say how bad Matt Canada is, right? In the same breath, y'all say that. And that's where I challenge it. However you feel about Pickett is fine. But in the same breath, you will say Canada is horrible. So how do you expect any QB to accept? Did Ben Roethlisberger play great under Matt Canada? Was he an old agent, Ben? Sure he was. But how well did Ben play under Canada? Ben had to kind of do his own thing. C.T. Pittman, the master of music, and Kev So Nice. Man, y'all donations. Y'all running it up. Appreciate y'all. He says, respect to the Browns defense, but Kenny got me in a love or hate relationship with him. They dropped the ball offensively with this game. Jaylen Warren running RB1 and leave JPJ alone. He's a rookie. He's going to get better. Yeah, JPJ has been fine. He just got to fix the penalties. And listen, the whole Jaylen Warren RB1, none of that matters right now because they do a 1-2 punch. And I think they like the switch up of Jaylen Warren following Najee Harris. Think about that. From a football standpoint, I would do that too. I would have him follow Najee as opposed to putting him out first. That's the change of pace you want. I wouldn't go from Warren to Najee. I would keep it exactly like it is. That's just my opinion. The Master of Music says, I don't know about getting a QB in the draft, but Kenny does need some competition in the locker room. Sure. Trubisky and Rudolph isn't a good competition in my opinion. I'm with you right there. Can't deny that. C.T. Pittman says, if they can't draft the QB, they have to at least bring in a vet to challenge Kenny. Yeah, I'm sure they will. They're going to have to because I don't think both Trubisky and Rudolph will be there. So there you go. There you go. But all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I didn't intend on spending so much time with you guys, but y'all showed out tonight, man. Wow, quite a few viewers. I really appreciate you guys coming out. Let me see what Marlon said. Marlon says, I'm not so sure in the 2024 NFL, Tomlin should stick around. I mean, after 18, 19, 20 years, it's time to move on with only one trophy to show for it. All the 8 and 9 win seasons shouldn't be the standard. Well, man, listen, again, I done told y'all repeatedly, however people feel about Mike Tomlin and him still being there in his tenure, that's on you. I don't care no more. I really don't. You know, if this is year 17, it's been long enough. It's not going to hurt my feelings if they decided to get another coach. Even though I like Mike Tomlin. I do. Even with the warts. Every coach has warts. I like Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is the reason why y'all... Let me throw a riddle at you. Mike Tomlin is the actual reason why you pissed off today. It's because you expect the Steelers to win. Mike Tomlin has done that in his tenure. He's kept them in the conversation. So I know people will say not having a losing season doesn't matter. That's fair. But no, that's not true. We have had the luxury of not being a 4-win team, a 3-win team, a 2-win team, a 1-win team, a disgusting team. Like, you don't even want to talk about. Y'all have been privileged to not have seen that. And Mike Tomlin has kept it consistent. So if some of you guys are done with him, fine. Like, I'm never going to argue that. But I will just say, over all of these 16 seasons, the coach has kept them in the conversation. And none of us know for a fact. Can I be brutally honest? Brutally honest. It's a 50-50 chance that if we bring in a new coach, they win. I mean, I ain't talking about Super Bowl. I'm just talking about being a winning team. It could very well be, no shots to this guy because I think he's doing an excellent job. It could be a Dan Campbell situation. Remember them first 2 seasons? And y'all pissed off again. I'm just saying, it's never a guarantee when you bring in a new coach. I'm just saying. So, wow. T-Spin says, Tomlin is the new Marvin Lewis. Wow. See, this is when y'all get insanely crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. You cannot compare. Well, I'm not even going to do that. But statistically, like I said, I'm never gonna battle anybody's opinion of a coach. Never. I'm never gonna battle anybody's opinion of a player. Your opinion is yours to have. But some of y'all conversations and some of you guys' thoughts are, let me say it, completely crazy. I'm sorry. That is my opinion. But all right, I'm out of here, guys. All I need y'all to do is this. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed and you like the content, subscribe. And once you do that, make sure you turn on your notifications. So therefore, you know when videos are live and or have been uploaded. But outside of that, love you guys, man. Even the crazy comments, it makes it all the better. Hey, keep your heads up, man. Listen, you know, your team is your team. We're going to have these moments because we're not a great team. We're going to win a few more games this year, I'm sure. But we're just not a great team. So lower your expectations as far as what you expect them to do this year and be surprised. That's what you should do. That's where I'm at. I'm going to let them surprise me. But I ain't expecting nothing. But I love y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in. Like always, appreciate your time. Appreciate your view. Stay safe. Stay healthy. God bless. Good night. I will see you guys on Tuesday for Terrible Towel. Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. By that time, I would have rewatched the game. And actually, I'm off. So I probably will have opportunity to watch the all 22 before that show. And I would look forward to you guys' phone calls. All right, have a good one. Watch some more football tonight, and good luck to all of you fantasy owners, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace.